Good afternoon, everyone. Tonight I'm going to talk to you a little bit about imposter syndrome. I have been a front-end developer for over 5 years now. I started out as an applications engineer intern for the world's premier e-commerce consultancy. After that, and during that really, I worked with private clients, about probably 10 or so private clients over the course of 2 years as a web developer and digital solutions consultant. I've also held titles ranging from software engineer to just front-end developer, and then finally I'm currently a UI developer too. And all signs would point to the fact that I have some sort of expertise in my field. I seem to know what I'm doing. I continue to gain employment in the field, and yet I sit in front of this camera and find that I have nothing to talk to you about. Because even though I've been doing this professionally for the last half a decade, and even though I've been developing for the last probably 15 years. I started pretty young. I still feel like I'm somehow not qualified to speak about it. And I don't know where that comes from. I understand how to write in HTML, CSS, JavaScript. I know Sass. Recently, I picked up some Vue.js experience. Clearly, I have quite a bit of knowledge about web accessibility standards. My first job ever working with the e-commerce consultancy was on the Demandware platform, which is now Salesforce Commerce Cloud, and I'm currently working as a UI developer specializing on the Salesforce platform. But I don't want to talk about that either. So it really is clear to me that imposter syndrome is real. I have this track record of success in the industry, and yet I'm sitting here thinking to myself, well, I'm not qualified in any way to discuss it, especially on the internet to strangers. But I should be. There are many people making videos about these subjects who have been doing it for far less time than I have, and who have far less experience than I do. But somehow I can't move past that in my mind. And imposter syndrome seems to be a thing that a lot of people in tech suffer with. I know quite a few people personally, and have over my career known countless others as well. And it just seems odd to me that even though so many of us suffer with this, and it's been fairly well documented as a phenomenon that exists, that people still deny it. In fact, about a year ago, I had a leader tell me to my face during a one-on-one meeting that he didn't think that imposter syndrome was real and thought that it was an excuse. And I think that that is weird. And usually the people who deny it being real and who say, oh, well, it's in your head. I mean, obviously it's in your head, but it doesn't exist. You don't actually have this thing. You don't suffer from these feelings. Those tend to be the people who are willing to speak on things that they're not qualified to speak about because they've never experienced imposter syndrome. They can talk about something they just learned about 5 minutes ago and think that they're fully qualified to discuss it to anyone. And sometimes I wish I was like that. I've been wanting to have this channel for probably, a number of years. I tried to do daily vlogging back in 2015, but that was mostly just lifestyle content. I've been wanting to start a proper vlog or channel, I guess, that deals with web development and my career for probably 3-4 years now. And I just have felt unqualified to do so, which when I think about it, just makes no sense. So if you are out there and you feel this way, that you don't know where you got to how you're at, but I mean, clearly you're a fraud. Clearly these people are just being tricked, and, you know, you've somehow bamboozled them into thinking that you have skills that you just clearly don't possess. You know, I get that feeling. I get the feeling of being at work every day or working with clients every day and thinking to yourself, I don't have a clue what I'm doing. How do these people think that I'm qualified to be here? But, you know, you probably are fine. You probably have the skills necessary to do whatever job it is you're doing. And you're probably really great at it. The people that I've met who have imposter syndrome, especially the people who have it really badly, tend to be the smartest people in their fields, in my experience. They tend to be, the developers that I would say I look up to the most are the ones who would deny their skill the most. And, you're not alone if you feel like that. So I'm hoping that I can overcome this, feeling of doubt and this imposter syndrome and be able to put out content on my career and on the thing that I spend the majority of my time doing, which is front-end web development, and also share with you my passion for web accessibility, which is incredibly important, especially in this day and age. So I will leave it there, and feel free to leave me a comment. Do you feel this way? Have you ever felt this way? Do you understand it? You're not alone. There are a ton of us out there, and we all just need to realize that, sometimes we feel like this, but it doesn't mean that we are failing. It doesn't mean that we're not good. It just means that maybe we need to work on our confidence some. I really don't know. Hopefully I'll be able to work through it with you guys. Have a great night.